Welcome everyone to Kashiwa, as today we take on Kashiwa Reysol in the J1 League. Now, we only have one game to catch up on, that is against Gamba Osaka. So, we will, in fact, be having a couple of cup draws. Yes, I will be playing through the Sanfrecce Hiroshima game after we play today's match. See how we get on in that one. Then we'll be doing the AFC Champions League draws, as well as the J1. No, not J1 League. Not the J1 League. Fuck. The Levain Cup. Levain Cup. Outside distracted me. That fucking hard. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Welcome everyone to Kashiwa for today's difficult J1 League tie against Kashiwa Reysol. They are of course one of the better teams in this league. Going to be a very difficult game, and with only one catch-up game against Gamba Osaka, we're going to have a couple of cup draws at the end of this one. So first of all, we're going to draw the Levain Cup. First round, we are of course already through in that, so we need to determine who we shall be versing in the next round. And then there's the Sanfrecce Hiroshima game. I'm going to probably play that one off episode, might play it in the episode, and then we're going to do the draws for the quarters and semi-finals of the AFC Championship. So, enough rambling from me, let's crack on, let's jump into that one catch-up game and crack on with today's episode. Our only game between episodes saw us head to the Levain Cup, where we welcomed Gamba Osaka to the Sapporo Dome, and as you see, it was settled by a simple penalty. A very 50-50 game if you look at the match statistics, but one I would argue we was probably the better side. Yes, I know, I've probably got a bit of a bias to say my own team was better, but we was in this one. You'll have to trust me, we was definitely the better side. Match statistics though, 9 shots to their 9, 4 on target to their 2, a 1.24 XG to a 0.89, 4 corners to 4, 8 fouls to 13, 1 yellow card to 1 yellow card, 87% passing to 85, 56% possession to 44. As you can see, we did have a lot of players who don't usually play in this one, so we had the usual of Obi in goal, but our backline was Hatsus, Kim Min-tai, Fukumori and Yanagi. Yanagi, of course, a player I would love to have playing week in, week out, but unregistered for a lot of things. Takamin, though, he came in central midfield alongside Arano. Arano, by the way, has been complaining about lack of game time, so this was a perfect opportunity for him to show what he can do. 6.6, really not showing what he can do, but Miyazawa managed to resolve that one, and, well, giving him this game time should help a little bit as well. In terms of other players, well, Kawasaki, a little disappointing on that left-hand side, but he is going to be our Songkrazin replacement. Songkrazin? Yes, Songkrazin replacement. I don't know why that confused my brain, but Songkrazin replacement, who of course is injured. Ogashiwa, our backup central attacking mid, didn't have a great game at a 6.6. Kishimoto on the right-hand side, though, 6.9, didn't do too shabby. Left-hand side, still a bit of an issue though. Like I said, Kawasaki with a 6.5, who is currently going to be our backup for Songkrazin. His backup, third in line, is Danzaki, of course. He got a 6.5, didn't do great. This bench, by the way, look how disgusting our bench is compared to our starting lineup. A lot of starters in there, some really good players. And yes, we managed to overwhelm Gamba Osaka and finish top of the group, which hopefully, going into the cup draw later in this episode, puts us in great stead. But enough rambling, enough talk about cup draws, which we are of course going to cover after today's game. It is time to jump into the action, take on Kashiwa Reysol. So without further ado, I will see you fine folks over at the dressing room in just a second. Okay everyone, game day is upon us, but before we head into the dressing room, it's quite important we have a little look both at the league table and today's fixtures, because if you have noticed on the right hand side, we've dropped down to second place. Yes, but we have two games in hand over Cerezo Osaka, and they only have a 2-point gap. That is because they drew 2-2, I believe, with Vissel Kobe in their previous meeting. So they managed to drop points in their previous game. They only have 2 in hand, and there's a very big match with Cerezo Osaka going on today. Yes, Cerezo Osaka welcome Yokohama F Marinos for their game today. That kicks off at the exact same time as our away tie, and then there's another game in Oita Trinita versus Sanfrecce Hiroshima, which No one really cares about the bottom one. It's about those top 2 games. We've got first, second, and third all playing at the same time. We've arguably got the easier game, of course, because we're versing 8th in the league. But we don't have an easy game. We're away from home. Marinos, they're going to be looking, of course, to pick up points against Osaka and get back into the race. Because right now, they are struggling to keep up with us and keep up with them. Now, in terms of the mentality, well, we're suggested to go from a positive to a cautious one by our assistant. We are not doing that at all. We are cracking on. We will do the opposition instructions, which I, of course, haven't read. Good pitch condition here today, 9,382 free. Tickets sold out of 15,349, 11 degrees Celsius and calm. Much cooler than it is for me recording, but I'm not going to ramble about that too much. I'm currently resting everyone, so I should probably get our players back before this one. So first of all, let's just go down the list and recall everyone who is currently being rested, which is everyone in the first team. So we are just going to go and training. We are going to recall to the team. We're going back to the team selection screen. And our team for today is Obi in goal, the backline of Suga, Havania, Inukai and Komai. Kawasaki on the left-hand side, of course, replacing the injured Sonkrazin. Lucas on the right. Central midfield will be controlled by Fujita and Miyazawa. Lopez sitting behind Nakagawa. A bench of Nakano, Hatsu, Fukumori, Kim Min-tai, Arano, Danzaki and Kashima. So, positive mentality going into this one. Oh, and by the way, Nakagawa, he has been in some incredible form for us. 15 goals in 20 games, 11 in 13 and a sub in the league. Outstanding from him. He's been a great acquisition so far. Nakashima, I'm not sure how he's doing, to be honest. 6 goals in 7 AFC Championship games. He is having an outstanding season, to be fair. 8 goals in 11 for as a substitute. He is a solid backup, showing the same sort of form he got last season. But of course, Nakagawa is a better player and thus is the guy we go to most often. Now, in terms of the tactics, well, everyone's liking it. Nakano and Danzaki will pretend their opinions don't matter. We've got 3 players who are back. Glad to be back. That's Miyazawa, Lucas and Komai, who I of course rested in the previous game, so they was nice and fit for this one. Because, well, this one actually has some sort of merit. The Gamba Osaka game was, do you want to be top of the group? We don't need to be, but, you know, we'll take top of the group. So we rested a few players. It worked out in the end, of course, as you saw from that segment of today's video. And now, we need to see if resting our players for this one is going to work out as well. We've been on a good run. Yeah, impressed me. Now, in terms of the other game, I'm not quite sure what I want from the other game, to be honest. Cerezo Osaka, yes, they're ahead of us, and technically they're ahead of Yokohama regardless going into that one. But I think I want to draw from that one. I think I want both teams to drop 2 points, because that means between the two they get the minimal amount of points between them. So a draw in that one would be ideal, but if one of them has to win, probably Yokohama, just because Yokohama has less points at the moment. I think Yokohama, by the end of the season, will probably take over past them and probably go past us and win the league, but who knows? Right now, we are focused on our match, and we need to get our shots on target, because that one wasn't particularly good. Speaking of other games, though, Hiroshima currently 1-0 up against Oita Trinita. Not bad for them in their away match. Kawasaki, lovely inception. Gives it straight back to them, but nodded back to Suga. Lovely ball through to Nakagawa from Suga. Oh! Should have finished better than that, my friend. Beautiful save from whom I'm assuming is a South Korean goalkeeper for them. But we have another highlight. Obi will play it short to Inukai. Inukai holding up the ball nicely, plays it to Komai. Komai holding it on this byline is going to get it back. Okay, Miyazawa, ball over the top to Nakagawa. One-on-one with the goalkeeper yet again, but he puts it wide. Speaking of Miyazawa, he has been tremendous at dealing with players' issues behind the scenes. Takamin, again, another player, complaining about lack of game time, very much like the Arano situation. I sent Miyazawa to go sort it out, and well, he did. It was absolutely fantastic. So, he might be 31 years of age. I might be considering dropping him down a little bit because of his age and the fact that we can get younger players just as good who are Japanese in his position. But right now, it's definitely going to be sticking around because he's dealing with player issues behind the scenes. He's both good on the field and off the field. He's a player that I very much appreciate. Komai, though, playing it up to Lucas as I lose my voice. Plays it inside to Miyazawa. Lovely ball in. Oh, it's a save. Nakagawa, decent header, but should have got a little more power on that one. Okay, so it's hoofed up. Inukai, lovely. It's, oh, Route 1 ball from Inukai in the centre circle. I believe he volleyed that, and then we volleyed the shot and forced to save. Lucas whips it in, back post, doesn't get to anyone. They will collect it in Matsuda, who kicks it out for a throw-in, which I believe we probably won't see. We don't see the throwing. Instead, we get their free kick in a very similar situation. They are going to now hoof it up this left-hand side, nodded down by Inukai, but straight back to Richardson. Richardson plays it up to Goya. Goya ball over to Honma. Honma coming down this left-hand side has way too much space. Komai, you need to close him down. Oh no! Jesus, he risked giving away a penalty there. Lucas, get tackling, my friend. Someone get this ball away. Lopez, thank you. Counter-attack. Kawasaki on this left-hand side has space, but Lopez plays it behind him. Don't know what he was thinking there. Suga to Fujita. Finally gets to Kawasaki. Suga makes the overlap, but cannot be found quite yet. Miyazawa finds him. Nods it down for Kawasaki. Suga continues his run. Will anyone find him? Miyazawa finds him yet again. Ball across. Miyazawa, edge of the area, smacks it from range, but it's wide. Lovely build-up play, but unfortunately we cannot put it in the back of the net. Oh, that was an interesting first half. 0-0. We really do need to make more of this possession though. 13 shots to their 1, 6 on target to their 1, a 1.19 XG to a 0.03, 5 corners to 1, 5 fouls to 6, 1 yellow card, 0 yellow cards, 86% passing to their 88. Maybe we need to pass it a little better. 51% possession to 49. The only yellow card, of course, goes to Kawasaki over on that left-hand side. So, I'm happy with performance. Keep it going. You know what? Looking at these, that's not a bad shout. There's only Komai I can really be a little disappointed in. So, keep it going. Komai, you're probably going to go off if you continue to play the way you have been, because you have been a bit disappointing and you did scare the heck out of me earlier on. You've also just dropped to a 6.5, so I'm going to look and keep an eye on you, Komai. We'll keep an eye on you, because if we hit that 60-second and you've not improved, then you're going off. 6.6. You didn't get past your original 6.6. You was on a 6.6 before. You are going off, my friend. I'm sorry. Hatsus can come on over on that right-hand side. We have a yellow card for Kawasaki. He's only on 6.6 as well. So you know what? Danzaki, we're going to give him an opportunity to shine on that left-hand side. Now, inside forward or winger? That's the question. He can play inside forward. We'll play him as an inside forward then. Don't want to mix up the formation too much. Everyone else playing decent. There's a few players we could do with resting, but right now we don't want to be resting. We want to be getting a result. And Yokohama currently 1-0 up in their game. Didn't realise Osaka had a missed penalty in that one, by the way. So yeah, they had a missed penalty. Currently 1-0 down, and they, Kashiwa, currently have a throw-in. Fujita though, lovely dispossession, hoofs it up, and Nakagawa will collect it on this left-hand side. Cuts inside, does he have any support though? Can he find anyone? No, Richardson dispossessed him, but Kristan, I don't know, gives the ball back to him. We have the ball in Miyazawa though. Miyazawa plays it for Fujita. Fujita to Miyazawa, Lucas. We have Hatsu's making a lovely run, but instead he tries to get it over to Danzaki. It's now with Suga on this left-hand side. Suga holding up the ball very nicely, plays it into Lopez. Oh, it's blocked, but Suga gets it back, whips one in. Nakagawa, keep your header down, my friend. Cristiano. That's the one. Cristiano. Like the Ronaldo. But not. It's his last name. But Havanir in the centre circle, holds up the ball very nicely, plays it up to Lopez. Now with Lucas, overlapping Hatsu if he needs. Hatsu plays it inside to Lopez. Lucas, oh, tipped onto the post. Lucas will collect it. And can we get anything going? Hatsu whips one in. Oh, Danzaki, get onto that. Or even Lopez. It went past you, Lopez. You didn't have to come back for it. Miyazawa, though, gets ball once more. Lucas to Miyazawa. Miyazawa holding up the ball for Lopez. Miyazawa once more. Inukai. Miyazawa. Lovely triangles, but currently no result. Okay. We have a highlight. It looks like a free kick. Dangerous spot. Can Lucas do anything with it? He's deadly in this position. Oh! Hits the side netting. And yet again, we continue to be wasteful. 77th minute, 21 shots to their 1, 9 on target to their 1, 0.03 XG to a 1.99. We need to capitalise, lads. Come on. I don't want to be demanding more. I know that'd be a little harsh on the lads because they have played well. We just haven't played well enough. We have plenty of players doing great. They're all tired. So you know what? Miyazawa, I'm going to rest you up. And Arano, you can have the opportunity to come on and show what you can do. Come on, Arano. Come and... Ooh, Oitrich and Ita 1-1 in their game. Managing to tie things up at home. We've got 6 minutes remaining in our match. Inukai will nod it on for Lopez. Lopez up to Lucas. He has an overlap coming in. Hatsu. Arano. Ball over top to Nakagawa. Come on, Nakagawa. Oh, he's offside. He was offside. Nakagawa. Ay, ay, ay. Nakagawa strays offside. Beautiful ball from Arano, the man I've been keeping on the bench. Tried to show us why we shouldn't be keeping him on the bench, but unfortunately Nakagawa strays offside. Hiroshima as well, by the way, got a second goal, so looks like their game finished 2-1 in the end. Look at all this beautiful green. Look at these stats. 0-0 though. We was wasteful. So wasteful in this game. The only players who were really disappointing, Kawasaki, Danzaki, that left-hand side basically, and Komai. We took 2 of the 3 off, brought one of them on, who then played just as bad in the position. And yeah, Miyazawa, we rested him to bring on Arano, but even Arano came on and had a good game. Our best performer, of course, was Sugo with a 7.6. It's just disappointing. We was wasteful up front. We had 24 shots to their 1, 10 on target to their 1, a 2.22 XG to a 0.03, 9 corners to 1, 9 fouls to 14, 1 yellow card, 2 yellow cards, 89% passing to 87, 55% possession to 45. We of course had that disallowed goal for what was clearly an offside. So I'm not happy with performance. I am happy with performance. I'm just not happy with the finishing. The finishing was pathetic. We should have done much more with that amount of shots, especially when they had 1 shot all game and managed to get it on target. So we managed to draw 0-0. Yokohama won their game 1-0. Sanfrecce won 2-1. And that leaves us in second place. So Yokohama haven't caught quite up with us yet. Still a point behind. Played the same amount of games. 3 goal difference though, so that could come in quite handy. We are a point behind Osaka, but we have 2 games in hand. So does Marinos, and so do Red Diamonds. So us two will probably overtake Osaka. Osaka's probably dropping to 3rd. If, big if, we can keep this form going, we should go to 1st, Marinos to 2nd, Osaka to 3rd, and Osaka, if we both win our games in hand, are probably dropping out of this race. It's probably going to become a 2-horse race. Still a 3-horse race right now, but it's all to play for in the rest of the season. And we continue a 6-game unbeaten streak. That, of course, comes on the back of beating FC Tokyo 5-1, a 1-0 against Yamaga, 3-1 against Frontale, 3-0 against Antlers, 3-0 against Pulse, and 0-0, of course, against Reysol. But that is enough of this match. We are now going to head into some cup draws, but before I get on with the cup draws, I've got to do the Hiroshima game. So we'll come back, have a look at the highlights from that game. I'm not going to show you the entirety of the game. I'll simply go record that, go show you the highlights if we make it through, which is very likely considering the first leg we won 4-0. Then we'll be doing the AFC Champions League draw on top of the Levain Cup one. So I'll see you back here for the highlights of that game in just a second. With a 4-goal lead and an early goal from Lucas, this tie was all but secured, making it a 5-0 on aggregate. And we even went another one further, Nakashima adding on a 6th, making it 6-0. But Sanfrecce Hiroshima, they didn't give up. No, they went and got themselves a goal back in this one. Ball over the top to Junior Santos, who drills this past Obi-Wan Kenobi. 2-1 in this game in the end, much closer than the first leg, but easy aggregate win in the end, getting us a 6-1. 12 shots in the end to their 6. We had 5 on target to their 2, a 1.29 XG to a 0.6, 7 corners to 5, 11 fouls to 13, 2 yellow cards to yellow cards, 84% passing to 79, 59% possession to 41. As you can see, everyone put in a decent performance, other than a couple of players I was trying out. Danzaki, of course, on the left-hand side, 6.6, need a little more from him. Same with Arano and Takamin, both getting a 6.3 and 6.6, as well as even Suga with a 6.6 at left back. Definitely need more from you, Suga. You're supposed to be one of our starting players. But Takamin and Arano, nagging for game time, went and let themselves down, as did Danzaki, our fair choice and current backup on that left-hand side. So, that is how that game got on. How are we going to get on in the cup draws? Well, let's head on over and find out. Okay, ladies and gents, it is time for the draw for the first round of the YBC Levain Cup. Time to see if finishing top of the group actually had any reason behind it. So, let's head on into the draw. We are down to 3, 6, 7, 8. So, the final 16 teams. We are, of course, met with some big opponents. The Cerezo Osaka left in this one is, Yokohama F. Marinos is, of course, still in this one. Red Diamonds, another strong team in there. YBC Kobe has some big names currently this season, not having the greatest of seasons. I think they're down in about 10th or 12th. And yeah, they're the 3 teams we should really be looking out to avoid. So first out of the hat, FC Tokyo will be taking on S Pulse. We then have Cerezo Osaka at home against Nagoya Grampus. Antalya will then play Okay, that's a game we would have liked. Yamagata is one of the lesser sides, I believe newly promoted, so that's a bit of a shame. Fukuoka, that's a nice easy one. Away to Fukuoka. Gamba Osaka gets that one though. Marinos, we don't want this one, which means we'll probably get it. YBC Kobe, that will be a very good game to see. F Marinos against YBC Kobe. Iniesta, of course, in YBC Kobe, along with Vermaelen and I believe Lincoln in that team against the current holders of the league title and the AFC Champions League, F Marinos. We then have Frontale. That won't be too bad, but we're not going to get it. We have Vortis. So, the remaining teams we could verse are Belmare, Hiroshima and Red Diamonds. I reckon Belmare is probably the easiest one, followed by Hiroshima, and then of course Red Diamonds, who are chasing those top 4 spots. So, Belmare will be at home too. Red Diamonds, okay, so we're getting Hiroshima. Will we be home or away? I don't think we're probably going to watch this one, simply because, as you know, we got them in the AFC Champions League, and well, we don't want to see several episodes against Hiroshima. We are going to be away from home against Hiroshima in the first round of the YBC Levain Cup. But we have more cup draws to come, yes, because we have the AFC Champions League, both quarterfinals and semi-final draws. So, I will see you back here in just a second for those. Okay everyone, the draw for the quarterfinals and semi-finals of the AFC Champions League are upon us, and we are guaranteed to be heading abroad as F Marinos got knocked out, as well as of course Sanfrecce Hiroshima, who we knocked out. So first of all, let's do the quarter-final draw. Let's head on into this one, and the first team out of the hat will be Evergrande. The Chinese side will come up against South Korean side Suwon Blue Wings. We then have the Saudi Arabian side El Ahili, who will be against Persepolis from Iran. We then have another Chinese side in Beijing Hihong against... Okay, we are going to China, ladies and gents. Time to go enjoy a bit of Beijing. And then, of course, Iraqi side Al Zawara is going to be up against Al Duhai from Qatar. So, that is our teams. Hopefully, we can knock out one of the Chinese sides and get it down to 1 in the semi-finals. But if we make it past Beijing, which is a difficult task, considering they did knock out Marinos and are now looking to knock out their second Japanese side in a row, who will we verse in the next round? Well, we are going to get the first one. So, If we make it past one Chinese side, we might get another one in Evergrande, as Evergrande or Blue Wings will be our opponents in the semi-finals. The other one, of course, is the Iraqi or Qatari side versus the Saudi Arabian or Iranian side. Not going to read through those names. We've already read through those. So, I think the difficult part is going to be getting past these quarters and semis. If we get to the final, I believe we can win the final, but getting to the final is definitely going to be a tricky task. Now, in terms of where those games fall, I'm not quite sure. If we quickly look at the schedule, I don't believe they will have been... Oh, they have. They're down here. So, quarters isn't all the way until August on the 24th, and then the second leg for it isn't till September the 14th. So, it's quite a while away before the AFC Championship. We do have our doubleheader against Hiroshima next month, but I think the next game we shall return for is the J1 League tie, which is only a couple of games away, as we verse Urawa Red Diamonds. Urawa are currently 5th after slipping from 4th place, I believe. They lost to Frontale 5-0, so they're coming off a rough loss there. They've probably got a game when we've got one against Tokyo Verdy, so hopefully they win that. Don't take it out on us having a couple of bad losses, and then we can manage to dismantle them on the back of picking up a victory. So that is going to be our game for the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you all have a lovely night, and goodbye.